Should've known, but she plays me well. It's been going on for a while. She's telling me a million excuses I've already heard. Confronted with the way she refuses to communicate, and I won't deny she's got me hooked. Now I can tell wrong from right. I can't decide if she worth it or should I stop trying. She keeps my foot in her door just enough to be sure I come begging for more, but she turns me down. And I can't deny she's got me hooked. Now I can't tell wrong from a right.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Spring 2020. I'm Atlas, this is LS, and we just witnessed what could have been one of the worst series ever. So from now on, if we ever refer to it, I think we should refer to it as Voldemort. Because we shouldn't name it, and actually saying Voldemort is actually easier than having to think about it. Because then we're on the Harry Potter train, and then it's fine, you know.
They're still playing.
I hope not.
That we know of.
I really hope not, but thankfully, we now have KT and APK. And they are going to save us from this purgatory. Do you know why? Do you know what the win rate between these two teams
0
of Soraka is?
Ooh, tell me.
100%. Iksu has a 15 KDA on the champion, and he'll be able to show us why it needs to be banned every game.
Actually expecting a 2-0 tonight.
Yeah, and I reckon it's APK as well.
Yeah.
We're on the same page there, my friend. I just don't think that KT have really found themselves.
Now, does that mean that no one's excited? Because that means that we're going to 3 games.
Oh, and also it means that KT wins.
It means KT wins game 1.
Oh, well, I mean, they're very good at winning.
Exactly.
As we're going to bring up some points of the match here to really get this one rolling, as it's a 2-win, 2-loss tie matchup. One will make it 3 wins, and one. No, wait, this is the other one. This is Dumb One versus Griffin.
Yeah, this is.
I probably should have. When there
I
was
told
a
you
win
they're still
column,
playing.
When there was a win column that had stuff occupied, that's when I should have known that everything was not really working out.
Because
Because of course,
this match.
neither of these.
They're
teams
not ready yet.
Wait, so we have to go back to the last match? Are they going to put on a VOD of the last match? No! I want KT versus APK! Please! Give me the bottom 2 teams of the league.
Fine.
Anything.
Atlas.
Anything but Voldemort again. Oh, no. I think what we need to do is talk about the jungle, though, because Flawless versus either Bono or Malrang is probably going to be the easiest matchup that Flawless has, because both of these squads really have not been figuring things out. But here's the 10th place decider match. Currently, both of them are neck and neck in 9th place. And KT started the split with 2 win-loss-loss series, and now they've just lost.
Yeah, this is one for the ages. As
well,
also,
I mean, one of them has to lose. You know, one of them has to win.
One does have to lose, Atlas, and it's a sad thing to think about. As team stats, it's about what you would expect. What is the average Baron power play? Average Baron. Oh, they're actually first. So KT.
Do they have the amount of Barons KT have taken? So I imagine there's probably not that many Barons that they've actually taken.
Atlas, you're supposed to be the glass half full kind of guy.
What's
going on here?
So normally
what happened to you?
When I'm defending low sample sizes, right? I need
I see.
I need the sample size to actually be announced.
Low
you know,
okay.
AKA low sample size. LS's fan base, AKA low sample size.
What?
No, I didn't say anything. We're having a look at some of the highlights that we could find of KT Rolster here, as we had to speed it up to get to the really good parts.
Showmaker.
As honestly, this was another example of Malrang having a good early game and then falling asleep.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see who is actually starting here today. for KT.
As,
Will it end up being Malrang? Because he actually has looked relatively stable. He's not sinning.
I mean, he's looked better than Bono, who like
Yeah.
hard entered in their first game against Darm1. And you know, normally I would, you know, caveat my words a little bit there, but there's no other way to describe it. As Kaney showing a pretty good performance here on the Kiana, this particular matchup, and APK did show more signs of life than what we've seen from KT, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, absolutely has, as the Alawi
Oh yeah, Ixu
really
back
doing
to his
work
old trends. I love it.
in this series, and so gonna be a very interesting thing to see if we do get Alawi, and then also Mia and Trigger.
I want to see way more Mia, actually. I was
Yeah.
talking to Wadid about this, and he brought this up. Just saying, I don't know why, he doesn't really know why Secret has been playing, and, you know, Mia sat behind Marta for a long time on KT.
Yeah,
like,
it's so bizarre that Secret is consistently playing over Mia.
ooh.
And also, just in general, I feel like the fluidness of Mia and Trigger,
Yeah, it looked good.
yeah, it looked a lot better, as this is the key player matchup. Ixu.
All right, so
Versus
someone
Soan.
versus, yeah, this is an interesting one. I actually wouldn't have expected this to be the key matchup. I think the
Damage
jungle is going to be
taken
far
per
more
minute.
important.
I don't know if that's a stat that you want to be first in.
If you're a top laner and you play tanks, it is. Because you're taking the aggro. You know,
Okay, yeah.
I got nothing else. Like, that's all I got. But also, Ixu does a quarter of his team's damage.
That is very true. And obviously the Alawi is likely contributing to that because she does abnormal amounts of damage.
Yep.
Now-
There are some differences between the 280 carries here. Hybrid, not exactly up there when it comes to kill participation, actually only barely above 50%, but he does 31% of his team's damage in comparison to Trigger's 27, something like that, percentage. So Hybrid able to late game carry a little bit more, but Trigger, it seems, is able to accelerate into mid games a little bit better, which is why we might be a little bit more excited there. But if you look at just the players on the Rift, KT look way better,
They do.
right? Like, the fact that we're talking about KT as a 0-4 team in the LCK is actually crazy to me, because I liked what they did with their roster. As we introduce them out on stage right now, Soan will be starting and Bono is back on the Rift. I hope today is a beautiful day, because my goodness, it was not last time we saw this guy. There has been a few days in between, and the weather has changed. It was very cold a few days ago, 10 degrees today, which is definitely comparatively warm. I think a swing of about 15 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's not snowing anymore, which makes me very sad. But here are the rosters. Tucson aiming, Kuro, Bono, and Soan will be your KT roster here today. No Malrung and Ray this time. Ray having his first game out, but not in ideal circumstances, as he got obliterated by Nogari in that series. Back-to-back POGs for that gentleman.
Yep. And Bono, we'll see what he can end up doing. Now, this is on patch 10.3, and so we'll see what either team is willing to do with Soraka and Yuumi,
Yeah.
or if they have anything in store for either one.
Damn, Ixu looks huge.
Yeah, Ixu
in that
looks,
photo.
yeah, he looks very buff.
He
I
looks
mean,
built.
I think he's been working out with Alawi.
Well, there's Kaini as well. So the mid lane matchup certainly going to be an age gap. It's about 8 years, or sorry, not quite 8 years, but pretty close. It's like 6 or 7 between Kuro and Kaini. But KT now have the first ban. What is it going to be? Should be Soraka.
Well, they
See.
are on blue side, so
I mean, do they want to first pick it? I think it's really interesting, because if you can funnel your opponent into having to make a tough choice when it comes to the ban, then it can be a good thing, as the Kiana is going to leave the Rift. Kaini deserve it enough to pick up the first ban. And the set going to follow.
Set, yep, second will end up following.
There's the Soraka ban. Told you it would be blue side. As APK now have the flexibility to ban Aphelios and Yuumi if they would like to, Aphelios and Ornn if they would like to, Yuumi and Ornn. a combo of those champions seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Maybe
APK
the Ornn will be left open.
Well, I would.
Oh, no,
I would.
no, because Kuro plays it too well. I don't think you can.
So Ornn probably should bite the dust here.
You'd expect so. But it's Jarvan instead.
So I imagine this should be a B1 Ornn snap
Should
by
be.
KT. Yep.
Nicely done. As now APK, maybe Ixu has got some dark technology prepared. His Alawi's available. His Volibear is available. Singed is available. Who knows what Ixu is going to play here. Probably not going to pick it at this
We'll
stage.
see.
I think red side last picking for Ixu makes a lot of sense here for APK.
Elise.
Are we locking in Elise Renekton?
I would really
It's
hope
gonna
that
be
that's
Elise
not going to be the
Misfortune,
case.
right?
Because that means that we would basically have the game be decided within the first 10, 15 minutes, most
Yeah.
likely. As, yeah, APK, I would expect Misfortune to accompany. Yep.
Thank goodness.
And now you ready for the Zyra Rakan into the R3 Morgana or what?
Oh, baby. Any truers? I reckon that probably should be how it goes. That being said, we have been tainted by the last series. Maybe something else is going to be figured out here. So they're taking as many seconds as possible in this one as Bono takes away the Sejuani. So we've got a little bit of a mix-up. Very burly is this composition thus far. I think AD carry would be a good idea.
Ooh, it's going to actually be Varus.
I was expecting something like an Ezreal to come out. Aiming has had some pretty woeful times on the Ezreal, but has actually had some hard carry performances as well. And after this patch, Ezreal getting a bit of love, certainly going to be a good idea as Varus locked away. And Alawi being considered, 9 seconds to go. And it will be locked in, I love it. Ixu just sticking to his guns, playing his Alawi. 3 picks, 1 win, but look, APK haven't had many wins, right? It's been 8 game losses and only a couple of victories here for these guys, and both of them, or at least 50% of them, have
And they've
been
come
with the
really
Alawi.
close to winning some of the games that they've lost.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not impossible.
I mean, their series against Griffin, I felt
Yeah.
like they should have won, honestly.
I
They
agree
were
with that.
performing, in my opinion, better than what Griffin were. What that says, I don't really know, because I think, you know, after witnessing the last series, some rethinking needs to be done. Now APK, one final ban to come in here before we get into our second round of picks will be Tahm Kench. Taken off the board. Of course, mainly because Varus Tahm Kench has been a very standard lane for the Varus to play very aggressively in. And so now we're probably expecting something like a Thresh to be gunned for by KT. So APK probably pick that one away. I'd actually recommend it, to be honest. The Lantern does give Aiming's Varus a little bit too much freedom, and Aiming does love to play really far forward.
Yeah.
As there's the Leona ban.
See if APK just pick us support here as they are hovering the Nautilus. And I really do wonder what this could mean. Perhaps KT would go with a Taric
I just want Thresh Syndra.
on B4.
You can just do Thresh Syndra here and just play like the easiest scaling pick composition. The Aiming's going to ruin all of my fun if this Braum does come in. I would be very sad. This is the new hotness, though. I feel like Afrika started it because Mystic loves playing Varus Braum. He brought it over from his WE days. Now it's infected the KT roster as well, by the looks of things.
And the other thing is that they could pick a top laner here into Alawi and send the Ornn mid, which I actually think would be much more likely for them to do.
Yeah, I'd really like that. And Kuro, as we mentioned earlier on, is a pretty accomplished player, and there is the Lucian locked in. I like it. It's still flexing, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's about what happens here at this last pick as to what KT truly decide to do with their composition. Kuro can also play Varus in the mid lane. Remember, Kuro is undefeated on mid lane Varus, actually, in the LCK. If my recollection of the stats is correct.
And Syndra is going to end up being hovered. So that'll be Syndra in mid lane against Torn, which means he's going to be able to coast double magic resistance runes straight into Abyssal Mask. So going to be pretty impervious against the Elise and Syndra once Kuro starts getting those items going. And then up in top lane, so on the Lucian. Against Ixu, there's not a lot of setup for Alawi to help out the Elise, and so this really just feels like a draft destruction where KT, they're going to come out in game number 1 draft here with a massive advantage.
And you saw KT, the last minute swap. Ooh, everyone is extraordinarily surprised. But of course, the Lucian was heading to the top lane, Kuro piloting his Ornn in the mid that he played in Kesper Cup very, very well. If I remember back effectively. It was in the group stage of Kesper Cup, which is now a very long time ago. Back in 2019. Certainly a Freljordian theme here.
Yeah.
As the Braum and Sejuani both coming in. But
And
so
the
unlocking
Ornn.
in the Lucian.
Isn't he from the mountain?
Oh yeah, he might be from the mountain. But he's like, he looks too warm. So I just didn't have a Freljordian vibe for me. I apologize.
Because he's in the mountain.
Yeah, he is the mountain, isn't he? He's a forge. Why can't he also be a mountain?
Ooh. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Alawi, Elise, Syndra, Misfortune, and Nautilus. So, you know what? I feel like this is the Freylord versus Bilgewater.
Yeah, it does look a bit Bilgewatery.
You know?
Of course, Misfortune, Nautilus, and Alawi.
Yeah.
From around there, I think. I don't know about Alawi's lore.
Alawi's...
Seems Bilgewatery.
Well, I mean, she's from the depths, I think. Didn't she fight
Like
with
the
Nautilus?
Lost Isles or something?
Is she from the Shadow Isles?
No, not Shadow Isles. She's not from the Shadow Isles.
You don't know the lore.
I don't know the lore. The lore changed. I knew the lore, and then the lore just
The lore does
disappeared.
change. They do that to you.
Yeah, they shot the lore with a cannon.
Can you imagine patch noting lore in
I
like
know.
series? Oh man,
Seems crazy.
what a disaster.
Everything you thought you knew is no longer correct, and now your brain has been contaminated with information that is wrong.
Thank you, Alice, for that gem.
You're welcome.
That gem of a sentence.
You're welcome.
Yeah, really just...
To be honest, the last series took most of me with it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do my best to try and pick everything back up as Ixu's just dancing with his tentacle up here towards the top side. Pretty cool that
And
Alawi can actually dance alongside her tentacle.
Kaney with Scorch
Oh, yeah.
on the Syndra. And interestingly, Stopwatch was picked up by Ornn. And I can't personally say that I'm a fan of that. Just because Magical Boots gonna give you so much value, and the Stopwatch, I mean, you'll end up being able to complete it later on, but you just want to be powering straight into Abyssal Mask in this lane, getting the Catalyst, getting the Negatron Cloak.
Yeah, and like technically, if you're looking at a game-long scenario, you're getting double the gold in theory if you are actually going to build a stopwatch. And maybe Kuro just realizes that it's going to be worth having that stopwatch regardless of whether or not he gets the Gargoyle's Stone Plate in order to tank in the mid-game. Is already Secret diving on in, aiming, trying to kite this one out as the Aftershock does pop off. Secret goes down to 300. The trade certainly in favor of APK as 2 champions down to 300 health is better than 1.
Yeah.
I can still math.
Okay.
Thankfully, the last series didn't take that from me.
Elise going for what appears to be a 3-camp clear currently, before probably moving over to her blue. Alawi struggling up there in top lane, but Hybrid and Secret doing a good job down here in bot.
Yep. Understandable that Alawi would be having a tough time in this ranged matchup.
Actually doing a pretty good job at CSing.
Yeah.
Did get 75%.
The Harsh Lesson, of course, does give you the auto attack reset, as you saw just there. And every time you cast it, your tentacles will smack the ground alongside you. That's if they ever exist, because the reason Lucian is picked into this Alawi is that he gets to just double tap the tentacles, and it gets rid of them straight away after using an ability, as So1 spots out Flawless, but he holds onto the cocoon. Relentless Pursuit does come in for, straight up misses it. As Bono also not going to be able to find the Arctic Assault. Ixu coming on down. Does he have the Test of Spirit? No, he does not. Well, he did, but he missed it.
Kaney is there, not going to do anything too extreme. And so this means Flawless is actually going to get double crab here against Bono on this Sejuani. And
Actually-
meanwhile, Ornn in mid lane, still waiting to purchase any of the resistances or items towards Catalyst. And Kaney is going to try to recall right here. And honestly, very surprising that Kuro didn't follow him to try to stop the recall, given how low Kaney was on mana.
Yeah, just going to shove out this minion wave instead. Built himself a Sapphire Crystal, which is going to be heading towards that Catalyst as the first item. I got a little bit frightened because every time I see an Ornn build mana, I get scared of a Iceborne Gauntlet. But not this time. Not scared. Not this time.
And Soan now is actually, well, okay, I guess he does still have a little bit of a lead in the CS department. It's not as ideal
He's
as
got a
what you
wave
would
ahead.
want. Zalawi, she is recalling. First dragon of the game is Mountain, though, which is a really big pickup for KT, given who their champions are. Obviously, Ornn.
In fact, 3 champions that can scale up alongside
Yeah.
the mountain pretty effectively.
And even the Lucian and the Varus, they'll probably end up getting magic resistance later on.
Yep. And every bit of magic resistance is fantastic against Syndra and Elise, almost specifically.
Yeah.
Which is very, very good for them. I like that you bring that up. A lot of onus is going to be on APK to lock this one down, so it's not too frustrating. Flawless really got to get his eye in on these cocoons.
That one was definitely a bit of a lazy eye.
Yeah.
Whereas I do think that Soan actually played the top one.
Yeah, he
Very
did.
good.
He played that one very well. As this cocoon,
Oh!
not even going to get thrown. Okay, lands it this time. Kaney doing a lot of damage. Bono down to 200.
They
Does
had-
escape this time.
Tushin there. And Ornn, that's actually very bizarre. I think they could have done that, but a little bit hesitant. I really hope this is not like the previous series here.
Well,
I
don't
think that-
mention it. Don't mention Voldemort.
Okay, I won't. All right, I won't jinx it. I won't spoiler it.
Yeah.
One of the best
Oh,
series
no, you
we've
didn't.
ever had here in the LCK, and
That wasn't sarcasm, guys. This guy has the script.
yeah,
He knows.
Atlas and I do not want to ruin it for you. Make sure to check it out on YouTube
Yep.
once the VOD is up.
On youtube.com/LCK Global. Just scroll down to the POG state. Episode 2 now available. Is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, I
As
hope that
Bono,
we.
he's
Oh
gonna
man.
get repelled on and has to flash immediately. Flawless finds first blood. It was walking up the river, and it was gifted to him as Flawless just puts Kuro in a cocoon and walks on out of there.
And now he's going to return to his jungle, going to start doing the Raptor camp. And now Ornn without ultimate is also really tragic. He's going even in CS, but a bigger problem for KT, even though they have such a strong draft, is the lanes that are supposed to be winning in CS departments are losing. And that's not a very good sign.
No. And by losing, you mean just not losing as much as they should be in their matchup.
Yeah, the Alawi is doing so well.
Yeah, absolutely fine. This one is starting to turn into Aiming's favor, but they're pushing a wave in, so I think that will actually equalize unless Hybrid gets shoved completely out here. Because I believe that was Chains of Corruption that actually went down as Flawless. Yeah, just finds Little Miss Piggy, and
Yeah.
it's all too easy. And yep. Easiest cocoon of his life. Really nicely done from Flawless there.
나야 나. 나 성현준이야.
Oh, look at the wry grin on his face.
Well, I saw no summoners, by the way,
Yep.
in that chat box. And Flawless now going to hand over the blue to Kaney, who is constantly depleted on mana, which is really interesting. So he's going to need this to sustain up into the Lost Chapter.
Yep, hasn't quite completed that yet. That is certainly a big boost to your mana regen. Ixu continuing to just put more points into his Q, I believe. I think it's Q max now, or is it still E max? I'll need to check it out.
So two different Alawis do different things. There is the Alawi that still does max the E.
Okay. Because that was always the Klepto
Yes.
way, because You then get to spam
You also
the E
needed the
and take
CDR.
more money off them.
But then Riot buffed it so that your E just had so much CDR taken off it at rank 1. As Bono, okay.
Yep, teleport to come in here as Ixu will spot him, but the flash over the ult from Ixu. And they're just going to trade places. All right. Didn't mind
Okay,
that move.
Bono is probably tilted.
Well, I mean, the last play wasn't great. So maybe I'll need to see more out of him before that one happens, because that was mainly an outplay from Ixu. Great flash over the ult.
Well, Flawless now just looking around, but it definitely does look like this boar has capsized.
Yeah.
The Sejuani struggling to really do anything early on. It is fine. She does outscale.
Boar is one letter away from boat. You do have to remember that.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, it's not
I am
quite a
so
boat.
impressed, honestly, that you caught that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You are really on point.
I felt like I did need to explain it a little bit for those playing at home, just in case. Not meaning to disrespect anyone, but took me a second. It's KT going to be starting off on this Rift Herald, but Flawless might just want to pop in here and take it away. Isn't going to. Horn is going to be rang as Kuro looking for him. He's not able to get into the sky, and he's just mowed down. Repel is a heck of an ability if you see it utilized.
The thing is that even if Flawless ends up repelling there, I don't think that there's realistically a way out for him, and so this is a Rift Herald picked up by KT. They're likely going to be able to utilize it in mid lane, but another lane where they could look to try to drop it would be bot lane, as I just want to point out, by the way, that Ixu is winning.
Whoa. Yeah.
He has a wave that's coming into him. He's going to end up getting all that CS, and Alawi should not be this close in CS to Illusion. Also, Alawi should not have 5 turret plates against Illusion.
Wait, he's got 5 turret plates? Where? No, he doesn't.
No, on his turret.
Oh, right. He shouldn't have any remaining on his turret. I was like, wait, where did Ixu get 5 turret plates from?
Yeah, unless your monitor's broken.
Well, I mean, I think my brain is actually a little bit affected as well, but not going to blame Ixu for that one, as Kuro taking a bit of damage here in this mid lane. Bono looking once again for an avenue. Glacial Prison available as Flawless. Trying to clear out vision here in this river. Bottom lane certainly isn't where APK have had control. Control wards, in fact, are mainly placed towards the top side. That was a W-empowered Q, chunking hybrid from aiming.
Well,
Have a look at this once again, and I want to know why the...
yeah, I don't know what Flawless is
Like
trying
where-
to do.
It's like he just decided that he didn't want to switch into spider form.
Well, even
Because he needed to do that before.
I just don't understand why APK is even trying to contest it.
Yeah.
That's what is the most confusing to me. KT, they already have the Mountain Dragon. They're likely going to be able to get the Ocean Drake, and so even though the Alawi did such a good job early on, even almost managing to get a turret plate here, it's still just really not enough. The Abyssal Mask already completed for Bono. Flawless just going to handshake and say, you know what, yeah, I'll get out of your jungle.
Yep. But spotting him certainly is a good idea. Because now APK are going to be able to play a little bit more calmly here towards the bottom side. Hybrid and Secret doing okay. In fact, they're only behind by 4 CS, which is no worries at all. They have lost a turret plate. That can certainly be dealt with. As Kaney here in this mid lane hasn't lost a turret plate himself and is ahead by about 13 CS. Of course, this is a lane that the Ornn certainly shouldn't be winning, but this is a lane that Sohan should be winning a lot harder. Bono is going to stay and actually share gold on this turret. Ixu just waiting patiently for his wave to be sent towards him.
Bono and so on, they're just going to share all of these turret plates, also getting the first blood turret of the game for themselves as well.
Trade for the Ocean Drake as Cloud Soul is upon us. And,
Not the most
this is
impactful
looking
Drake.
like a second charge for Shelly. 25 gold for Ixu. But certainly certainly not ideal to have that down to just below half health. Kenny gonna find himself a knock up there on Kuro, but he's concentrating on the minion wave, knows that killing the Ornn with an Abyssal Mask is going to be a difficult prospect, especially with the stopwatch now online. A very useful tool against unleashed power.
Kenny almost has the Luden's Echo available. Another turret plate potentially gonna fall. Aiming, I think he really wants to get it. And
Ult is available here for Hybrid, trying to get himself into position, but he's actually only making it worse. That was so greedy, the movement from Hybrid.
ends up losing his flash and his cleanse for it. And that means he won't have that available for the Cloud Dragons fight, if there even is one. Yeah, Exhaust Cast, I'm not really sure as to why. Although I guess Kuro has his teleport back. Bono has done absolutely nothing this game, by the way. It feels like...
He just killed a control ward.
Okay, but Flawless has tried to make so many things happen, and nothing has.
Well, that's what Kuro was trying to do before. Gets the knock up onto Ixu. Flash has to be used, though, and they're still on the run. Not enough movement speed. Now, APK could actually try a pincer, but Bono does move far enough away. And Ixu now is going to have to catch that wave underneath his inner turret on the top side of the map. 2,000 gold. Oh, more like 1.5k. Going to be the lead here for KT. So this game's still anyone's at this stage. Red buff. Flawless is going to come on over. Should be able to steal it, but no, isn't able to. Flawless doesn't find the cocoon. And yeah, so I'm just going to walk away in the faces of multiple people. Hybrid's bullet time is still available. Aiming, has to use the heal, but the Glacial Prison is fantastic. Body blocking his secret flash from Tucson and finds the Winter's Bite, stands behind Bono. That was a sick play. KT win.
What a right
player of
hook.
the game is going to Tucson 150%.
And so Hybrid ends up dying down there in bot lane. And APK, this is very akin to the earlier series of the night. No one is really doing anything, and yet things are happening.
Did you get that from like Jaden Smith's Twitter or something like that?
No, I don't know.
Oh man, we've lost it. Aiming almost dies, but then Heal and Barrier both come out. And sometimes that can bait you in. You can't blame him for that one. Yeah, Q Flash. That's so sick, because the angle change...
It was a really good mechanical
It's
play.
Actually mechanically really difficult to do that.
Tushin did that.
There's the horn. Get a double knock-up, but otherwise, not so much of an issue here, as APK, I believe, actually lost the Rift Herald. That's why they're not walking over to the Eye. Now they have to guard it. Out of turret in the mid lane. Might be somewhere that they can try and contest. His Aiming's just chilling by himself.
Yeah, he's going to raise the bot turret. And as far as the upgrades ends up actually going here, for KT, it's probably going to be Blade of the Ruin King for both Varus and the Lucian.
Yep.
And I'm curious to see if Soan's actually going to pick up a Black Cleaver, or if it's just going to end up being Trinity Force.
I'm pretty sure the upgraded Blade of the Ruin King is actually pretty like stat efficient.
I believe it is. Yeah.
When it came in, like
I saw
people were very excited about that one.
Yeah, I saw someone had tweeted about Infinity Edge being better, but I'm not sure.
You'd have to wait a lot longer, especially for Varus and Lucian, because we've got Black Cleaver that's just come in here, so it's not going to be Essence Reaver second, it'll be Essence Reaver third.
The other thing that Ornn can do, but I do believe that it's prohibited even in the LCK, is you can build Might of the Ruin King via the Ornn upgrade, and then you can purchase Blade of the Ruin King, and you can use them both.
And their actives aren't unique?
So the actual active, like pressing the number to use it, is unique.
Okay.
But the passives both apply.
Oh, damn.
So
that is super sick, actually. Let's do some face checks. Flawless takes a lot of damage.
Doesn't work with all of Ornn's items. Only select ones are able to...
Is it like some of the new ones? Because Might of the Ruin King is a newer one.
So Death Cap doesn't have a named passive, and yet it doesn't work.
Huh.
Might of the Ruin King and Blade of the Ruin King don't have a named passive. So...
Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Secret, we are going in. There's the bullet time, and there is The leap of faith, but that one, there was no risk there. That needs to be renamed because Ixu knew exactly the outcome of that situation.
They end up going over the wall, aiming not there. He's so important to the team fight. And then KT all being clumped up.
I love that Secret just blast cones into the middle and he's like, take me now. And then everyone follows up. It was perfect. That was a trust fall. That was like, you know, crowd surfing.
A really big free
dived on him and the rest of his team were there to catch him. Really nicely done.
And so that is going to keep the game within reach, at least for APK. If they can manage to get a couple more of those team fights, it'll definitely be good for them. But the problem is, well, there's actually a couple of problems. I think Orin's building Frozen Fist. As Secret, he comes in here, really good ultimate. Alawi just comes down, and KT are just not prepared in terms of positioning. They didn't have their AD carry ready either. They said, bars no flash, by the way. They said go, or okay.
He was going to blast cone over just to pick Tucson, I guess?
Yeah.
And then just use his stopwatch. Really nicely done from Secret. We were talking up Mia and questioning why Secret was there, but if Secret's going to continue to play like that and actually start fights and play proactively, hell yeah. Lock down that spot. Of course, formerly, a player that Papa likes to talk about. We're not going to be able to talk about it, though, because Bjorn does fly in Secret. Going to finally use that flash as Ixu just happily tanks a bunch of culling bolts so that he could kill 2 minions.
And there's another thing that's going on right here that is so perplexing, is both the jungler and the mid laner both purchased an Oblivion Orb. Orin already had an Abyssal Mask and Merc Tread. Sejuani, you know that she's building magic resistances. You also know that Lucian and Varus will eventually get magic resistance.
Oh, yeah.
And so, why did they build Oblivion Orb rather than just both going towards
the win
Void
now
Staff?
Option, I guess.
It's not even win now. It's actually
if they complete Morello's, that's bad. But if they just
you already know it's coming.
I know. I don't know, man. I feel like we talk about it all the time and no one ever listens. So.
Okay.
In the LCK. It's frustrating, but just one of those facts of life. Life goes on. Morellos get built by every LCK player.
The other thing is, Kuro, against so much magic damage on the enemy team, Kuro's actually building what I assume is Frozen Fist.
Get out of there, grumpy boy! Oh, he booked it back there. That was Bertha, right?
That was Bertha.
Yeah.
Agatha and Bertha.
Yeah.
Did you see that is it LOLpedia? Or Esportspedia? Whatever site River.
Leaguepedia?
The Leaguepedia.
Yeah.
There's a LCK lingo page.
Are you serious?
All the terms that we use.
I love River so much.
With the definitions.
Oh my god. Do they have the River Ram in there?
They do, actually, I believe. They have Eladios.
Damn, they are
Bertha,
they are
Agatha.
updating that. Yep.
Yeah.
Shelly and Shirley, I guess.
Cheater recalls in there as well. Sinner.
Aatrox.
Aatrox, yep. Trox.
And
Ox.
Yep. X.
Yeah. The
Triple X.
The
Vin
AATR is
Diesel.
silent.
Can we just call Aatrox Vin Diesel now?
I think my next name for him is... And that's when all the letters are silent?
Well, Ixu's being caught out. This certainly isn't silent, but there's the leap of faith. Is he actually strong enough to lock down? No, he's not. I always get so excited. Not quite enough to do it there, as Tucson actually might die. He had to blow heal to get out of the way of the multiple tentacles coming after him in the river. It's not where you want to fight an Alawi. Alawis love the river. But Ixu doesn't like being in the death chamber and has been sent there now. He has his Bramble Vest completed and a Durham's Fist. Just a bit of a random assortment of items right now. The Soan's knocking on their back door. There's Bullet Time that comes down as a response, but again, Hybrid needs to cancel it. It's been not exactly the greatest performance here from this APK AD carry, but also Bono throwing his ultimate into Narnia is not going to be a great thing here for KT either. Fair bit of damage down from Kaney, who's looking to try and actually go aggressive here.
And the problem is, they don't have an answer to Soan split push. That is one of the core problems that the APK team composition is going to have to figure out is that the Lucian is so nimble
Yeah.
that he's able to constantly split push against the enemy team, and Alawi cannot just sit there and try to hold him. Now, she does have the Bramble Vest as well as the Ninja Tab Eye, but Lucian starting to pick up some magic resistance, and so the Bramble Vest reflect damage is going to be cut.
And APK are committing to these 5-man Dragon takes, despite it just being the Cloud Drake. They're going to threaten Soul Point on this one, so the next time around KT is not going to be able to give this up, even if it is in trade for mid-turrets like this. I actually respect this decision from KT. But if the fight is going to be good for APK, then maybe not the greatest choice. Tucson once again has his spirit tested, and is going to pass the test with the help of Kuro there.
The heart is the strongest muscle.
Yes,
As
thank you very much, Braun.
You hate to see it, Atlas, but I do think that Kaney...
Nah, that's Void stuff. Don't worry. No, in fact, that's Leandri's.
Oh, is
He's
it?
building towards his Leandri's.
Okay.
My cup is so half full.
I'll believe you.
Don't. I wouldn't. We've been disappointed before.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh no.
Get the camera. Get the camera. There it is.
All right. Well, at least there's one for your scrapbook.
Yep.
Not all is lost.
Oh, I'm making a, I think I'm going to make like a,
collage?
yeah, I think I'm going to, I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something.
You put it on a dartboard.
I think I'm going to get a website and just keep uploading them. Oh, I'm going to make an Instagram
Oh!
for Morello purchases.
You can just call the Instagram Mold Rello.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we've been interrupted. There's the on-horn. Flies through secret, but otherwise it's just disengaged pretty easily here for APK. The rest of KT not interested in a fight. Kuro's like, but guys, I spent a year in the LPL. This is what we do. And no, not interested. Not doing that. It's actually very sad that sort of appears to be exactly how that one goes. Flawless also on that wavelength, wanting to start up a fight. No one's near him, so we can't actually have any battles. Kaney's going to find Kuro topside, but lets him leave. That's what we're talking about.
APK now, they're only down about 2,000 gold, but the ornaments are all coming in on the side of KT. A little surprised that Bono doesn't just build Abyssal Mask, because once you get the ornament upgrade, the stats are just so insanely valuable.
Yeah,
you
really,
get the
really good.
CDR as well. And it even adds, I mean, it helps out a little bit for the teammates that deal
And also,
some magic
Sejuani
damage.
does
Sejuani does magic damage herself, so it's a really good item that she could end up getting. I believe there was a spot as well yesterday where Jarvan could have ended up building it because he had 4 AP
I remember.
teammates.
I remember.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I feel like it really just slips Cinderhulk players' minds that, oh, that's right, there's an actual viable Ornn upgrade.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, for me, that has so much HP that Cinderhulk then just further amplifies.
They're not going to go for it now as Flawless. Can he make it into the sky? Yes, is the answer. As he pops back down, now looking for Bono, finds no one with his cocoon. It's looking like a very difficult ability to land this game. Because I guess everyone is moving a little bit faster in the Cloud Rift. Says Atlas, making some excuses.
That is fine. Minute and a half until Cloud Soul.
Steric's Gauge is completed now for Ixu, and that's actually a big deal. I mean, what we're really waiting for is 3 items on the Alawi. That's when she becomes this monster of a raid boss. If you get Death's Dance, then the added healing that you get from your tentacles is just insane.
Yeah.
And if you pair that with the shielding available from the Sterix, then it becomes absolutely nutty. So looking forward to that from Ixu, but APK do need to get to that point in this game. Vision has been cleared. You can see that So1 hasn't let up when it comes to the side lane shove. But this time around, with everyone floating topside, has to stop, back away. Flawless wants to clear out Vision. They know that there is nothing in this Baron pit, but they're not going to go full Dragon X just yet. Ixu's going to test the Spirit of Tucson once again.
Oh!
But towards the top side, Kuro, Bellows Breath, good timing. Redemption comes down there as well. The re-engage happens one more time as Ixu has been put to sleep before anything, but that bullet time does a hell of a lot of work, and APK are not done yet. Tucson way too low, Bono also way too low, as it's only the carries with any health bars whatsoever. Scat of the week only barely missing on the tail end there, as the trade is 1 for 1, but worked out way better for APK than we were expecting.
Yeah, again, they found a multi-man bullet time. Just take a look at this one more time. Ornn getting locked up initially, so on the left-hand side. And then they make the decision to go in on Alawi. Ixu are flashes. Eventually gets brought down, but just take a look at Misfortune, this angle. It is so unrealistic and unholy that she ends up getting this.
Well, now we're going for the Cloud Soul. Bono trying to make it a 50-50, but he's going to steal it away. All too easy as they all move out as well. Dredge line going to be used by Secret to get out, and APK going to have to try again in 5 minutes.
That's going to be Cloud Soul denied. And not a massive pickup, but there's another ornament that's coming in. Braum going to have an ornament probably for himself as well soon, as KT seem to be starting the Baron. Now they do have Varus and Double Borg with the
Spirit of
Sejuani.
Death lives on in KT by the looks.
This is definitely a way to end the game.
This is a questionable one, as the Scryer's Bloom was available, as is the Blast Cone, but now they're going for the re-engage. They're looking for Ixu once again. They do burst him down, but we've seen this story before as the bullet time rains hell onto KT. Now, Kaney just goes golden, everything is okay, and we've traded 1 for 1 again. It's the same 1 for 1. In fact, is this deja vu?
This is really something else in this game. They are consistently lining up because they're tunneling on taking the fights really fast and trying to just bring down Alawi.
Yeah, and APK have kept this game extremely honest throughout. It's been about 1.5k, the gold lead for KT for a very, very long time. Let's have a look at this. Break it down.
Yeah, I'll try to break it down. Tushin standing out in front with about 40% HP. Ornn ultimate comes in onto Ixu, but not before he gets the test of Spirit. Sejuani gets popped up, but again, multi-man bullet time, and everyone is so committed to killing Alawi. They end up losing focus of what is really important. And also, the start of this fight was also just very bad in terms of the angle, the fact they were doing the Baron, the side lanes were in an awful spot. Yeah, they're really just rushing things, as Executioner's Calling picked up now on Lucian.
I think that you hit the nail on the head with that one. I think rushing is exactly what it feels like. It feels like KT don't trust themselves to be able to just methodically win out this game on a macro sense and want to be able to find that big play to be now it's over. And they were looking for that around the Baron. What they can do at this stage is start trying to suffocate APK, stop them from being able to take these Drakes, and understand that they can play front to back a lot more comfortably with all of these Ornn items that are starting to flood.
I just want to point something out that, by the way,
yeah,
Varus staring down the Morello on Syndra and the potential Morello coming in on Elise completed into a Bloodthirster.
Oh yeah.
So
before his Hextry.
Yeah, it's very good.
I mean, at least there's a Void Staff now under Kaney.
Yep.
And Flawless is going towards the Zhonya's so that he can repair his timepiece. Going back in time a little bit, how does a stopwatch turn into an hourglass? Not sure how that works. That's fine. He's spotted out. And now KT, they're going to start it up again. Here we go. A lot of these Barons have been forced. This one, due to the fact that Ixu was bottom side without flash or teleport. There are still 4 people, so on waiting off to the side, but a flanking Lucian isn't necessarily the greatest Lucian you could ever get. But now Flawless, he's waiting. He's ready to get in position. They pull away.
They missed Alawi.
Yep, Secret is going to be right in amongst it. He goes down because his stopwatch was taken. They grabbed the support for free, and now they've jumped back onto this Baron once again. Aiming, just shooting it. Double lifesteal is allowing him to just stand here and tank Baron for approximately forever. And he's just doing it.
Very slow, but now going to restart it. Ixu slowly moving in, so on.
What? Was that a smite? Kuro still has his smite available. Chains of Corruption do land onto Ixu, but Does get the ult off, but it's not enough of a leap of faith this time. And KT, they grab another pick for their Baron attempt.
And they're going to start it up again.
All right. If at first you don't succeed and the second time you don't succeed, try again. That being said, they were successful, at least grabbing picks off each instance.
Now, I have no idea why Lucian doesn't just go top lane in this spot, push out the wave, get the golems, and then just plant himself up there. As we take a look at the replay, Nautilus just goes in way too far. Obviously, his teammates can never follow up in a million years. And so Secret, it's no secret that he was going to end up dying there. And then the posturing for this team fight, Ornn sends out the pillar, ends up landing the E, and Ixu just not able to do enough as Kaney is being very overly cautious on this Syndrome.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to start taking a few more risks. Seems to be Flawless taking all of them so far. Is another Cloud Soul going to be denied from APK? And it's going to be Soul Point apiece as there's the Ornn once more. Kaney off to the side, but that is just pure disengage. We mentioned the fact that Ornn does have so many modes. The disengage variant certainly used a lot, as there's the engage variant of that hook coming out. But Secret not going to die this time. Bullet time thrown out for fun as aiming in a heck of a lot of trouble. Ixu diving on forward, wanting to find the Tester Spirit, will do so. On Kuro, and now everyone has to be scared of these tentacles because the health bars are not high. And some back timings will have to come in. Is this now APK's chance to grab this Baron?
Soan and aiming both able to heal up very well.
And Ixu has flash and ult and a position to set up tentacles.
And
this
Kuro
is
has
not a fight
teleport.
KT wants to take. Well, now we're going to have the re-engage. Baron going to be taken in the meantime. Flawless does lock that one down, but the tentacles going nuts in the backline is Ixu. There's the flash forward! The tentacles landing, Soan barely surviving as Kuro just trying to buy space for his team, but Tucson has to flash after walking on forward. Was that a flash from Flawless? No, it wasn't. It was just the transform. That's exactly what Ixu was looking for.
Trying to just get HP.
The double lifesteal certainly working out there as another Cocoon is going to go wide. APK wanting to get themselves back into a point of stability, buy some items, and start pushing out these side lanes.
What?
All right, never mind. They're just both dead.
What?
Were they backing? What happened?
What the heck? Hello?
I just went to look for a stat. What? Oh, the ward. There's a ward there.
But why would they back there?
Look, man. I have some answers.
Okay.
I can do simple mathematics. I can tell you what champions' skill names are a lot of the time.
All right.
But I can't tell you why the heck the bottom lane was standing
So,
there.
the thing is that KT, rather than abuse...
Well, point blank ultimate comes
hold
in.
on.
Flawless does make it up into the sky this time. That's a beautiful dodge there. Cocoon is going to land this time as well. Secret going for that max range dredge line. Hybrid has just quietly built up about a bajillion items, and he has a 700 gold bounty as a 117 misfortune. Not bad. Clearing out the vision here, and this should be Cloud Soul opportunity, right, for APK?
This should absolutely be Cloud Soul, as take a look at this replay. Teleport coming in by Ornn, and then they gauge immediately. Ornn doesn't have his ultimate available. Sends out the Q. E's a little bit late. And so Ixu gets so much damage off. Kaney not quite able to kill Soan right there, but all of this is happening. I mean, I just... I guess that they just wanted to make a pick, but... He couldn't believe it. He was like, yeah, there's no way.
I mean, could anyone believe it? I don't know. I certainly couldn't. I was actually off checking stats because I thought that the game had calmed down. I apologize for not giving the game my entire 100% undivided attention. And
honestly,
the stats I was looking for were mostly LCK terminology stats.
This is a kind of draft where, because of the way that Ornn's able to itemize, they can reliably 1-3-1. And even though Ornn isn't the greatest split pusher, with his spellbook, the fact that you have Lucian, whenever Ixu doesn't have teleport, you need to pull APK around the map
Yeah.
rather than just letting them hold phalanx.
Oh no, Bono just straight up misses! Ixu does fall down, and now
You know
the
what?
Call of the Forge God comes forward. It's Secret that they're targeting, though, who throws out a point-blank dredge line for no reason at all. Still, KT disengage after getting a pick, and that was bizarre.
The fight that Bono straight up misses is the best one they've had yet.
But also, they didn't push their advantage. They just managed to take down Ixu. There is now an opportunity with 0
Atlas,
ultimates available
You're
to
supposed
follow
to
up.
be the guy that's glass half full.
My glass is half full of something, I tell you that much.
Salt water, I think.
I hope so.
Well, Bono and aiming now, trying to push up mid lane. Still 15 seconds on the Alawi. They're going to raise the mid-tier 2 turret. And then also the top tier 2 turret's on its last leg. I believe those minions.
And now it is Dragon Soul availability. Damage taken, really high number there for Bono at 35k, but Ixu's certainly up there himself. And there's going to be a fight around the Cloud Soul. 4 seconds until she lands as Flawless.
Whoa, everyone's
off to
going
the side
somewhere.
does land a decent cocoon. As Secret tanks up most of the culling. They have lost a lot of their buttons on KT's side. That cocoon goes wide, though. That's the one you really wanted to land. Dredge line not going to find the markers. Kuro looking for the re-engage. Nice double knock-up. He's going to come in as Ixu's tanking a lot of damage. Hasn't fallen just yet. Bullet time! Eviscerates KT! As Soan and Kuro both leave instantly. Aiming
I think that's the
finds
game.
himself in amongst everyone and the victim of a triple kill on Hybrid side. Finally, this AD carry actually getting some kills. And now this ultimate movement speed may actually just allow APK to walk towards the enemy Nexus a little bit faster.
And so it's 45 seconds. And this was the same mistake 6 times in a row. They keep trying to engage into APK, and when you do that and grant the Misfortune and the Syndra, the Phalanx.
Tucson buying some time here, but it's not going to buy them any sort of game victory. That's the ace. Unofficial quadra kill there as well in the end for Hybrid, as the Nexus does go down. And LS's prediction, in fact, his red script did state correctly that APK go up 1-0. Oh, who
You know
the
what? Drafts
heck
just
gets the
don't matter.
player of the game?
Drafts do not matter.
I can find a secret.
It has to be Alawi.
Does it?
I think so. Too much damage. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. Is it? Man, vote yourself.
Oh, heck. I'll give it to
It could
Misfortune.
honestly be anyone. Yeah, it could be Misfortune because the enemy team clumps up and gets hit by
Yeah,
5 men both
they all
times.
focus the very dangerous
Right.
Alawi, and then bullet time kills everyone.
And the thing about that is that KT team composition, the way that it should be getting piloted and conducted inside of that game is pulling the APK team apart, abusing how immobile it is.
Yeah.
And then also, they should never be using Ornn offensively into the opponent. They should be waiting for APK to try to come into them and using defensive Ornn ults, because that causes them to scatter. It makes Misfortune have a much harder time at positioning, causes Syndra to be also a little bit wonky, and also causes the Alawi to oftentimes be separated from her teammates because they're trying to avoid things. So, just KT, a complete absence of what their team comp was supposed to do. And everyone's skill shots were just going every which way there.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's pretty accurate representation of this series so far, to be honest. Kuro was landing actually some decent ults, and I really liked his timings for a lot of his engages. But honestly, like, the amount of coordination left more to be desired than I ever want from an LCK game.
Yeah.
As aiming just gets completely crowded out and destroyed. And that was the one team fight that actually meant anything. Gigantic damage once again.
This is the kind
Coming
of
through
game
from Hybrid.
that makes me think that team compositions, lane matchups, etc., they're just not going to matter in the traditional sense. We saw Lucian inevitably start losing to an Alawi inside of laning phase.
I mean, that says something for Ixu as a player, though, because he picks Alawi because he knows most matchups, right? He spams unorthodox champions and is really, really talented at these picks, and he's able to make them work. And he did it. I mean, it wasn't done in the lane either. He chose the Alawi so that he could win the game, not the lane.
Yeah.
And I like a player that can do that because that shows that you've transitioned your solo queue mindset into winning the LCK matches. Haven't necessarily been able to do it that much, but their third win just came in, and now an opportunity for a 2-0 after the break.
걸렸다, 오른 걸렸다, 얘들아. 오른 깎았어. 야, 오케이.
천천히. 아 이거 좋아.
미드로.
야 우진아.
좋았다.
사랑해.
그래, 뭐 어땠어?
아, 나이스, 형님.
나한테 공 막았지?
왜 이렇게 잘해? 우리 팀 나이스.
자, 내가 생각해.
끝내. 천천히 하면 무조건 끝나.
얘 뒤로부터.
야, 브람 노플이야, 브람 노플.
알았어. 목소리 죽여.
야, 브람 돼.
야 딱대 너. 일로 와.
모두 일로 와.
너 일로 와. 다 와.
너 뭘 쳐다봐?
자, 스턴 걸어있다. 나이스.
쳐다보지 마.
아, 나이스.
그래, 앞길을 막지 마. 우리도 좀 이겨보자.
그래, 우리.
이겨보자. 우리도 좀 이겨보자.